There is a big question echoing across global geopolitics right now. Is the multipolar world already collapsing? For years, analysts have been arguing that era of American dominance is ending and that the world is moving towards multipolar order as a system where several major powers like China, Russia, Europe, India, and the United States are balancing each other. But recent tensions involving Iran have raised serious questions about the theory. Because when pressure on Iran increased in the Middle East countries, often described as strongest partnerships, China and Russia exactly did not rush to defend it. So the big question arises here. Is the multipolar world real? Or is the United States still the only truly global superpower? What analysts mean by this multipolar world? After the end of Cold War in 1991, the global system became largely unipolar. The Soviet Union collapsed during the United States as the dominant global power. America had the most powerful military, the largest economy, and the most technology and strongest network of alliances. For nearly 3 decades, the US saved much of the global order. But around 2010, many analysts been arguing that system is now changing. China was rising rapidly, Russia was increasing less military influence, like India and Turkey were becoming more and more assertive. And this led to the idea that world was emerging as a multipolar era, and what the Iran crisis revealed. Now let's talk about why the Iran situation is become so interesting. Iran is often considered a partner of both China and Russia. China imports significant amount of oil from Iran, and Russia has cooperation on military and regional security issues. So in the Middle East, what actually happened? China issued strong statements. Russia criticized US and Israel actions, but none of the country moved towards direct confrontation. In other words, there was support in words. Why this matters? This matters because if the world were truly multipolar already, major powers would likely be more willing to challenge each other directly. But in reality, most global powers still avoid direct confrontation with the United States and its allies. China, for example, depends heavily on global trade routes and stable economic relationships. Now let's talk about the United States factor. And on top of that, the US dollar is still dominating the global financial system. That gives Washington enormous economic leverage. So while the world is certainly becoming more and more complex, United States still plays a very uniquely powerful role. Does this mean idea of multipolar world is become dead? Definitely not necessarily. What we many actually seeing is a transition period. In some regions, American influence remains extremely strong. In others, regional powers are gaining more independence and influence. Friends, if you enjoy a bit geopolitics, global strategy, and the power politics, make sure to subscribe the channel and hit the like button. Till then, see you in the next video. Till then, thank you so much.